This is further evidence that Hillary Clinton approved the Russia hoax against President Trump. Her campaign financed it. Again, she approved it. And the FBI and the CIA were both weaponized. The president wants to see justice served, and he trusts the Attorney General and the Department of Justice to implement that justice and hold these people accountable.
All right, Caroline Leavitt earlier reacting to the new declassified documents that appear to reveal a Clinton campaign plot to falsely tie President Donald Trump to Russia. All of this after Senator Chuck Grassley publicized a 29-page addendum to Special Counsel John Durham's report on the Russia investigation. Let's bring in Republican Oklahoma Senator James Lankford. He's a member of the Intelligence Committee. He joins us now. Senator, welcome to you. What do you want the American public to know about what we are now learning?
I want them to know the facts and the information as it really happened on this. This is something I've talked about for years. The Russia collusion that was happening during the 2016 campaign was not with President Trump. It was with Hillary Clinton. Her campaign was the one that was actually working with Russian sources. Her campaign was the one that was creating all of this. They were pushing it into the administration. The administration at the time, Barack Obama's administration, and all the levers of government were immediately assuming all this is true. We're going to run with the investigation, and we're going to try to prove it wrong rather than what they should have done and what CIA career folks were saying at the time, and that was, hey, we have no evidence for this. This doesn't smell right. But they were pushing it forward to be able to drive this line that somehow the president was colluding with Russia when it was literally exactly the opposite.
Yeah, Chuck Grassley, your colleague, was on America's Newsroom earlier today and characterized it like this. Listen.
That it was all effort of total distraction and to make it look like Russia was playing a very major role in helping Trump to be elected. And now we know none of that was true. And now with this Durham report annex out, it finally proves that the FBI was covering up.
All right, so we hear it, and we hear you, Senator. Caroline Leavitt at the White House was talking about accountability. Where do you see all of this going next?
So the interesting thing is most of the people that have been involved in this have all been fired already. They're already out of the administration. That was long ago. Trump had fired them during the first administration. So now it's a matter of just following up to be able to see what needs to be done or what needs to happen from here. So there's a lot of decisions need to be made. Let's get all the information out and figure out what steps need to be done. But House has been cleaned on this already within the FBI, within the CIA. If there are additional folks that are still a part of that this report continues to be able to find, we need to follow through and do exactly the same thing to be able to make sure we're holding people to account. The tools of government should never be used for political purposes to try to accomplish this, and certainly not to be able to undercut an election.
All right. Well, the former CIA Director John Brennan went on another program earlier today on MSNBC, standing by the conclusion that Russia's goal was to hurt Clinton and help Donald Trump. Listen.
All the legitimate reviews that were done of the assessment subsequent to it, including the Senate Select Committee of Intelligence bipartisan multi-year review, endorsed and said that those conclusions and those findings were accurate. They were based on intelligence. And so there was no dispute about it, except when there are partisans who come out in support of Donald Trump right now.
Your reaction to that, Senator?
I happened to be on the Senate Intelligence Committee at that time, and I would beg to differ with the reports. We watched Russia playing both sides of this campaign. Russia's goal was to be able to confuse everything and everybody. Russia was trying to be able to pursue ways they could get into voting machines and into secretaries of state's offices. They were actively doing that. But at the same time, Hillary Clinton was working with Russian contacts to try to create this false Russian story and to be able to drive that. That's what actually CIA, including Brennan, was trying to rush through and find ways to be able to prove. So he's trying to be able to convolute multiple different issues there. Russia was definitely trying to interfere in both sides of the election. But Donald Trump did not hire a Russian group to try to interfere with the Hillary Clinton campaign. Hillary Clinton hired a Russian group to try to interfere with Donald Trump.
I want to put the portion of the Durham report annex revealing emails tied to the Soros Foundation, Senator, and get your reaction to this. Saying, quote, the media analysis on the DNC hacking appears solid. Julie says it will be a long-term affair to demonize Putin and Trump. Now it's good for post-convention bounce. Later, the FBI will put more oil into the fire. More from the Durham report annex revealing emails tied to the Soros Foundation. HRC approved Julie's idea about Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections. That should distract people from her own missing email, especially if the affair goes to the Olympic level. Senator John Kennedy, your colleague, Republican colleague from Louisiana, responded to our Fox report on Soros's alleged ties to RussiaGate, saying, quote, "The more we learn about the origins of RussiaGate probe, the more it appears our law enforcement and intelligence agencies were weaponized against President Trump. Americans deserve maximum accountability and transparency." Senator, I'll get a final thought from you.
Yeah, we need maximum transparency. We need enforcement of the law. This should be consistent. I have every confidence in the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi and what will happen as they walk through this process to say, let's get the facts and the information out so finally the American people can know. I would tell you, people that I know in Oklahoma have said for years, this doesn't smell right. This continues to be able to come public to them to be able to say, that's what I thought. And they're getting a chance to be able to get the facts behind it. So that's a good thing. I have to tell you, just as a person of faith, I always say what is whispered in the secret place will one day be shouted from the housetops. It's a good thing for all this information to be able to come out and let people see it in the daylight.
Senator James Lankford from the great state of Oklahoma. Appreciate your time today, sir. Thank you.
You bet.